Some stuff coming out of The Athletic this morning. So essentially, where we're at, again, is that Ruben Amorim is going to have to clear out if he wants to bring in. This job that Ruben Amorim's been given at Manchester United does become harder and harder by the week, it feels, because obviously this is a guy that's very reluctant to speak positively about any positive result because he's always trying to say, look, you know, who knows what's around the corner. The enormity of the job, he spoke about that pre-Crystal Palace. And it goes back to everything we've ever said before. Are Ineos, just the Glazers, a wolf in sheep's clothing? Because everything just seems to follow the same pattern. We're already getting things like this coming out from The Athletic. From a Manchester United point of view, they could do with strengthening, but they don't see January as the ideal opportunity to do that. I mean, you know what? This is Manchester United, the great institution. You know, the biggest football brand in the world with Real Madrid, Barcelona and maybe Bayern Munich. And they don't see January as an opportunity to improve a broken squad. I mean, at what point did we cease becoming a football club and become idiots? 2005? Maybe. So from a Man United point of view, they could do with strengthening, but they don't see January as the ideal opportunity to do that. If something came onto the landscape, they could act quickly, but from my understanding, it would be a loan in and a loan out kind of thing. That's from Laurie Whitwell in The Athletic. And this is why the thumbnail says, not again, because we sort of alluded to this on the show last night. Remember Mark Ogden said, Man United, if they can offload some players in January, may be tempted to go and spend big on a Elliot Anderson or an Adam Wharton, etc. But I did say, when you read the detail of that story, what it's actually saying is Man United, if they're going to spend big, won't do anything until the last week of January, until everybody's back from the AFCON, and then they can look at it. And all that is we're definitely not spending money in the first 3 weeks of the January transfer window, which basically shuts you all up for 3/4 of it. And then with only a week, we'll ride the storm out, and then it'll be shut, and then we can't do anything. A la last year, where last year we did exactly the same. All right, we brought Dorgu in, but it wasn't exciting. It was a 20-year-old from a lower relegation-threatened Serie A side. And then when the window closed, they told some bullshit story about Kenda, who a month later signed for Chelsea. At some point, well, it doesn't have to change, does it? Because we're run by mercenaries. But this constant insistence that January is not a time to improve the Manchester United squad is painstakingly irritating. It really is. It's so frustrating. And to read that and try and compute it in your head as a purist football fan who just wants the team you love to be successful, I am so tired. It's so draining to be run by these people who just do not have the interests of this football club at heart. They are business people running the club like an Excel spreadsheet. And to read that, from a Man United point of view, they could do with strengthening, but they don't see January as an opportunity to do that. So why, again, did Manchester City last year see January as an opportunity to buy 3 players and bed them in for this season? Why the previous year did Chelsea see the opportunity to buy 3 expensive players and bed them in for their future? And look at where Chelsea and Man City are now. They're in the top 3, they're in the Champions League, and they're good footballing sides. So I'm sorry, like, I don't know why any ex-player, any media outlet, I don't know why they're so terrified of saying what I'm about to say and what many of you say all the time. Why are Manchester United such a badly run football club, and why do they ignore something that would actually improve them?